Hey, Steve DiMaggio from McFadden Sales here today, and we are going to go over the Ashdown CTM-Pre amplifier. So first things first, this is made in China. The street price at the end of 2022 is $699. It's one rack unit, and I weighed it. It weighs 8.25 pounds. What is the Ashdown CTM-Pre amplifier? It's a tube-based preamplifier for studio or for live. So this preamplifier has ECC 81, 82, and 83 tubes, and that's going to be the basis, the foundation of the tone that's coming through this. So we'll start with the input jack and talk about exactly how you'd want to tweak this depending on the tone you're looking for. So into your input jack, you have your meter right here. First thing you're going to want to do is make sure that you have the proper level going into the CTM. So you'll do that by using your sensitivity switch right here, and you'll want to keep that needle right there around the red area, right about there. You'll want to keep it just borderline on the red when you're playing in there so you have a nice signal to noise ratio. From there you have your drive knob. Now the drive knob I could see being used more in a live setting rather than a studio setting. When we go into the playthrough here, I did tweak the drive up high. I didn't go all the way. To me, it's more of a compression live thing rather than a studio thing. So that's why I didn't get too in depth with that. Next is basically the heart of the unit and what makes this so unique, and that's the feedback control. Now what the feedback control does is it alters the slope of the lower frequencies. This will change the entire character of the preamplifier as you tweak it. And towards the end of the video, we do play through it and kind of just move it so you can hear the different tones. So the deal is, if you turn this knob all the way down, that's your start. That's going to be an old school, vintagey, loose kind of bass sound, which is real good for anything 50s, 60s, 70s. That's where you'd want to be, and you kind of want to tweak up from there. Now, as you move this up, what you're going to see is it's going to get tighter, it's going to get more modern, and that low end's going to tighten up. And when you go all the way here, you're very modern. So you could do anything from R&B to hip hop, super heavy metal where you just need a lot of punch. It's very, very, very useful. To me, this is the ultimate studio control right here for dialing in your bass sound. Moving on from the feedback is your EQ. Now the EQ is a passive EQ stack. So you'll want to find the spot where your bass sounds like your bass, and then you can go from there. Everyone's bass is different, their playing's different. You'll really want to experiment with this EQ to find what sounds right for you. Very organic, very natural sounding. From there, obviously, is your volume. Then you have a return and send effects loop, and you also have a headphone jack. So great for playing in the bedroom. I don't got to explain the virtues of why you'd want a headphone jack. Moving on to the back, you have post and pre-EQ outs, and then you also have a USB-C output for recording direct. So right here on the bottom also you have rubber feet for desktop use. That's how I'm going to use it here in my little studio that I have for doing demos. And then the last thing I want to mention about the appearance is the Ashdown gray powder coat on this. Super nice, will stand out. It's one of those things that in the rack, if you're taking pictures of your studio, it's not going to be something that everyone has, and it is going to stick out. Onto the demos, I had my buddy Jack Wallington come in and just let him do his thing, and we kind of tweaked as we went along. Again, these demos aren't meant to be scientific, just meant to be a fun way to kind of experience the gear, learn something about it, and share with everyone. There's going to be 3 songs that you hear. There's going to be a reggae song, which is a little tighter, of course. There's going to be an indie rock song that has a much looser vibe. And then there's going to be kind of a more heavy metal, hard rock sound that's going to be the most modern tone. Along from that, at the end, there's a portion where I just kind of tweak the knobs as Jack is playing. So be sure to check that out if you're kind of wanting to see how these controls sound as you sweep them. So enjoy.